question for our attorney. It's under utility wires. I put this on here. I walk out of my church on Sundays and look across the street, and there's this great wall of wire that goes along Main Street. And it's not just confined to a small area, it's a wall of wire that goes down. I understand that a bunch of that is abandoned. What is our legal right as a community to ask utilities to remove any abandoned wire from utility poles?
Right. So we just had our side of our building done, so I met firsthand the supervisor for this area for Dominion Power. And I generally ask him about that when we first put up the sleeves, they call them sleeves, around some of the high voltage stuff over there. And he said generally they leave everything in place in case it's needed in the future or again. It's been disconnected, they leave it hanging unless it's a hazard. That's their general policy. I didn't look into whether or not we could legally compel them to do something different, but I'll research that and send you all an answer.
I would appreciate that because it's aesthetically, and I know that aesthetics doesn't enter into the discussion, but it is displeasing.
So I don't know the legal answer is whether we can compel, whether the town can require or demand, or if there's a legal remedy, in other words, go into court or some other action, or but their general policy is to leave everything in place, saying that it may be needed again in the future. It could be that they also don't want to spend the manpower, labor, and effort to sort of deconstruct stuff.
And it's also not their wires. So
some of it is not.
If you have a communication wire on an electrical pole and they're using that pole, the communication lines, and those lines are abandoned, does the owner of the pole have the right to remove it? So, I mean, you run into a legal aspect, I think, also. And then again, why would the owner of the pole want to waste their time removing the wire?
Maybe we can get Sarah to.
We'll get her some,
What?
we'll get her some
Remove
tennis
the wire.
sticks.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry. I can see you shipping up that
And
pole.
then if you'll do the research, I would appreciate it. And I have been approached by people who live along Main Street who say that they look out their windows and there's this great.
Bill's, I mean, they're the poles, public utilities are unique and they have strong lobbying powers. My hunch is there's not a lot of great legal remedies, but I'll look and see if there have been either cases or statutes that are on point about compelling the removal. But again, so you get Dominion to hypothetically to remove their wires because they're not being used, but then you still got Comcast and others up there who are using their wires. So you still have the poles, you still have some of the wires, but not all of the wires. But let me research it and I'll give you a better answer.
Very interesting.
And I will say too, if you ever drive along, you see a little power line and they cut the top of it off, like the two out here in front of the courthouse.
Yes.
Those poles are just for communication lines. They might have been power lines at some point, but somewhere along the line, somebody removed some of the power down Main Street and it has come back. Namely, the abandoned power line that's next to the side of your building that he was talking about.
Yeah, that whole wire side of our building is no voltage on it.
On both ends.
So
On
once you
both
take it down
ends.
and remove it, well, we leave it up in case somebody needs it. So.
Right. So I mean, there's that, but there's others. I know the county strung a line. We have an ordinance bill somewhere. I read it.
We do.
That has 0 teeth in it. But nobody is supposed to be putting new lines up on Main Street, and that ordinance has been broken several times since it's been written, because it has no teeth. So
I'll research it, give you a written answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would appreciate that. One further thing on the review, discussion, and recommendations to council regulation of yard signs. The intent is to draw attention to the state's statute, which we have here. The state does not allow any kind of yard signs or whatever kind of sign in VDOT right of way. And they give you the permission to, the ability to remove those. I see a lot of those signs being put in the Virginia VDOT right of way. I would like to remind them that they can be removed. That's it. This has nothing to do with looking at your yard and saying you can't have this particular sign there, in favor of this or against that, it doesn't matter. But this is obstruction of vision in VDOT.
So, is it more of a, like a public relations, public reminder of removing signs that are
You have to remind the public.
illegally placed in the right of ways? Because political signs often come to mind. I think it's within a week of the close of the election. I can't remember, it's either a week or 5 days, the signs are supposed to be removed, and political campaign signs are supposed to be, it's a real short
Yeah.
period of time, and that's why you often see the workers going out and collecting signs. But, are you thinking of an ordinance for the town? Because that, we would only then control what happens within the yards as opposed to the state right of way.
I think what Bill's saying is, he mentioned the obstruction, the signs literally obstructing the driver's view, as opposed to having a million signs out there that need to be picked up.
What I'm looking at is driving down Main Street and coming to what is called Cruz Corner, right there. Occasionally, somebody will tack a sign up there and put one in. I'd like us to be able to just remove it, or let those people know that we have the right to do that. The same is true with Giles Corner and any of our spaces. Signs that occasionally crop up in the entrance to Chatham, which is Virginia right away. Right.
So signs that are unlawfully placed,
That are unlawful.
whether the town has the authority or someone within the town to just flat out remove.
We'll just
Yeah,
remove
that 5K guy put a sign somewhere like that.
it. Saw that,
He has since reformed.
but that's all right. And that's all, it's a reminder.
Okay, and I'll look at the authority and who has the authority, and it may be that the Public Works Director could see or note those things and then refer them to VDOT, who has the authority to remove it.
They have the authority.
Our worker may not, but because it's VDOT statewide code, that she may not wanna remove it, but
There's the Virginia.
okay.
Okay.
That way we ourselves are not doing anything.
Let's recap then. You were looking at accepting the
Backwater cross connection.
Okay.
CCCP.
We are going to meet on Monday about, to discuss protocols for the murals. I think we can come up with something. We are looking to ask the planning commission to do some reviewing for us. And I think we're at that point. Is there anything else?
Well, just real quick, so we're gonna meet on Monday for the mural.
Yes.
We're gonna work on this. Once that small committee has done their work, we're gonna push it on to the planning commission. Planning commission will then have a public hearing possibly before it goes on to, it doesn't have to come back to this committee, but it'll go on to the town council. Right? That's
Okay.
fine?
That's fine. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
May I speak?
5:01 PM.
You're off the record now.
Oh,
Well, no, we haven't adjourned yet.
Okay, well, you adjourn and then I'll speak.
Go ahead and speak on the record.
Okay.
You want me to speak on the record?
Yes.
Okay. So, I started this journey of being a a utility manager with the town 33 years ago. And I owe the town an immense amount of help anytime you need me. And I want to apologize to this committee for being late. I was on the other side of Lovingston, climbing a mountain, looking